It's time for the Techthusiasm Live podcast!
That's what I call an entrance.
Time to go live.
Hey folks, hello and welcome to November 3rd, special day for me, November 3rd, Techthusiasm Live podcast, Monday afternoon, early evening, etc., late evening, depending on where you're at. Thanks everybody for coming out. Just kind of a cool birthday hangout today. So today is in fact my birthday, ripe young age of 49 today. Feeling good. Thanks for the quick wishes, Julius and Bruno. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. So, been a fun week this last week. So, just kind of a regular hangout here today. Talk about a couple of topics. I got a few things on deck. Some project updates. Things happen. Things finally happened again today. Some improvements. Doing a couple of things slightly different. Hopefully, there's no camera wobble today. I got a little bit modified here of a setup. I've been kind of lapping my laptop actually for the podcast and some of the videos, which every time I shift my legs kind of shifts the camera watching them back. That might get a little bit annoying. So I've stabilized my setup a little bit here. Hopefully that's a little better for everyone. But in any case, I hope everybody had a great week. Happy belated Halloween. We had a fun weekend, good Halloween. We had our usual party. We have usually friends and family and stuff over. We live in a town here in Southeast Michigan that's pretty gaga for Halloween. They go all out. There's skeletons all over the downtown area. All the businesses put them out. There's like street parties throughout the month of October with all kinds of stuff happening for it. It's kind of like all kinds of people from other towns descend onto my town as well for Halloween time. So yeah, we had fun. Parents, family, friends, and stuff hanging out. I don't have pictures. I was actually going to post them. My wife, I think all the pictures ended up on my wife's phone, and she hasn't put them in the family shared library yet. But they spent a week. I contributed a little bit as well. The arts and crafts aren't really my thing, but I pulled some weight and I did my part. We had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle costumes this year, and my wife and primarily my wife and my son handmade the costumes. So the shells were really cool. They made shells out of those kind of like interlocking foam mats that you use for like a gym floor. They were all custom. They were like bent and shaped and formed and fitted into the shell and the plasteron, I think it's called, the chest pieces as well. Really cool looking. So I was Leonardo. I had some swords. We had our training swords from when my wife and I used to do Aikido years ago. My wife was Michelangelo. My son was Raphael. So good times. Maybe I'll try to get some belated pictures still up. But since we played that Shattered Fate video game, haven't played games in a while. 6 weeks, no video games because the living room's been down. But he's been digging on the Ninja Turtles a little bit, so that was kind of his recommendation. And of course, unfortunately, my mid-teenage daughter now is more inclined to dress up to match the boy that is her friend rather than the family. Otherwise, we would have had all 4 Ninja Turtles. So fun Halloween, but sad. The sad progression of life continues. But I think we clocked in 173 trick-or-treaters, so pretty average. I thought we'd have a lot more for Friday night. I was thinking like 250 maybe, but 173 is still a pretty healthy number for where we are in the neighborhood. And found some cool costumes coming through and had a good time with that. The rest of the weekend was quite nice. My daughter's soccer team picked up another win in their challenging season of playing up a couple levels of competition. So that was made for a good fun start to Sunday. Had one of those other kinds of dads in the other team cheering section. Was driving me nuts, almost to the point where I was about to speak up and speak my mind to the things that he had to say about the game, but it didn't fully come to that. But in any case, there's kid sports is an interesting thing. What else? Been playing a bunch of Marvel Champions still with my son. Last week I mentioned I think that the new box had just come in, so we already played through together the co-op scenarios. Now we've been playing the PvP mode. We got a game going right now. We just finished a turn, and I came down here to go live. So, and then last night, as we usually do around like the family birthday moments, we try to a day either on the birthday or plus or minus a day with the birthday and give the person an opportunity to pick an activity, and then the family does the activity. So it was already late in the day last night. My daughter's got like double soccer practice tonight, so I don't think we'll do a family activity tonight. And given the timing, she had her 4-H club meeting and stuff. I'm like, oh, let's just do a movie. So we watched Batman, 1989 Batman. I was trying to think. I almost picked Interstellar. I wondered if that might have bored my son a little bit. And it was really long too. It's like almost a 3-hour movie after I was looking at it. But I'm like, what should I pick? I'm like, you know what? I haven't watched Batman 1989 in a long time, and kids hadn't seen that. So movie looked great on the Kaleidoscape. So I thought for an old movie, sometimes it's a hit or miss. They can be really noisy. I think they can be really grainy, but I thought it looked fantastic. It looked clean and clear. Um, Movie holds up. It's been a while since I've watched it, but there's a little more camp than I remembered, actually. The costuming, of course, is a little bit stiff by today's like superhero standards, but yeah, but overall the movie holds up. My wife commented that she likes watching older movies more than newer movies. You could definitely feel like 89 Batman has like a slower pace to it. The, the dialogue, the interactions of the characters, just the way that the whole kind of thing progresses. It's not just whiplashing you from scene to scene, super action, etc. There's more of like a stillness, some more tension and other things in it. Just like I like the slower older movies, and but the kids dug it. They both thought it was pretty good. So I think we'll probably continue on that series a little bit maybe now as we do our next movies and we go through our family picks, go into Batman Returns, and we'll see about the other two follow-ups. But it had me remembering back to the original theatrical experience. So I remember that movie. I remember going to the theater to see that movie. My dad took us with I think probably three. It would have been three of my friends, probably Jim, Brian, and Jim. I remember driving. What was the minivan we had? I forget what it was called. Some Pontiac minivan with like a really swept front end. It was really kind of unique styling for the time. But we went over to like Lincoln Park, Allen Park, Dick's in Southfield Road, where there used to be a big shopping plaza, Sears store and stuff. I remember that Sears store from my childhood as well. That's where I got the GI Joe Terrordrome and a couple other things. Some cool Transformers toys came from that Sears. um, there's a theater back in the corner there that we went to and watched that movie. So that was there's not a lot of like movies that I remember going to the theater for when I was a kid. Like I remember Return of the Jedi. I think my Aunt Mary took me, like my godmother. I remember Batman '89 though. That was a big landmark thing when that movie came out. Good books about that movie as well. Michael Uslan, the producer, he's written two books actually about the making of Batman movie. Like kind of they're like autobiographies, I guess. Story of his life, and his life as kind of a comic book fan, a superhero fan, and then breaking into Hollywood and like his life goal to kind of get those Batman movies made. And interesting reads. I've read mostly both of his books. I read the first one in its entirety, and I've unfortunately left the last one with a couple chapters to spare. I should make some time and actually finish that up sometime. But they were interesting perspectives into like the makings of Hollywood, producing movies, and like what it takes to get stuff made and pitched uh, and get movies financed and kind of through the production process and all of that. But yeah, Batman '89, very important movie in so many respects. The forefather, in many ways, I think, of a lot of the more contemporary superhero stuff that we're enjoying. If that movie had flopped, I think it would have been a much longer road ahead to see when, and how superheroes might have been given another shot in Hollywood or um, by Hollywood. So, but yeah, so having fun with that. Um, So yeah, had a good birthday so far as well. Hit my I posted about using the tonal, and then my goal is to try to get 1,000 strength score this calendar year, and I actually hit it today. So that was really cool as well. I hit my workout at lunchtime today, and I hit a couple of PRs during the workout as it kind of tracks your progress and pops them up. And I'm like, I wonder. I think I was at 997 when I last had left it, and I'm like, I wonder if it might pop all the way to 1,000 today. Like that'd be a cool little birthday gift to myself. And sure enough, boom, it ticked 98, 99, boom, 1,000. Stopped exactly at 1,000. Not a tick more, not a tick less. So I was pretty happy with that. Feeling good, crushing these workouts, trying some new supplements and other things. So I'm actually wondering. Actually, I think not having a television. I don't let my wife hear this, but I think not having the television in the living room for the last 6 weeks has probably been a net positive to my health. Because I'm not inclined to just sit in the living room later at night, turn the TV on, fall asleep on the couch or something, and then walk upstairs later. I'm just more likely nowadays. Like it's 10:30. I'm just gonna if I'm done with the kids, whatever, all set. I'm gonna grab my iPad or whatever, grab a graphic novel or a comic book or something that we have or that I have on loan from the library. I'm just gonna go sit on the bed upstairs and read for a little while, start getting sleepy, and then just go to bed. So almost kind of not having the television is definitely a net positive in some ways, I think, to health. But definitely the Halloween treats though, killing the gains these last couple of days. We got to get the rest of these treats out of this household. We were talking about my pitch anyway to my wife was like, let's have the kids pull about 20 pieces of candy out of what they have left, and then everything else is going to the office on Wednesday with me. And we'll just I'm going to put it out in the kitchen, and everybody can have it at the office, and the kids don't need to eat massive bags of candy for the next year. So we'll see what happens. We actually threw away a ton of last year's candy, to their credit, a couple days before Halloween. Everything was all expired and pretty gross by then, but anyway, as it is. Say hello. Thanks to the happy birthday wishes again. Edward Colbreath, thanks. Srin, thank you, sir. Much appreciated. So today was also a pretty fun day. Another birthday present. Progress on the living room setup was made. So the painters showed up. They were supposed to be here about 9. They actually turned up a little bit early. About 8:45 or so, they popped in, and they did about 5 hours worth of work, I think it was. They were gone by about 1 o'clock ish, 1 o'clock hour, early in the 1 o'clock hour. So they primed everything up, first coat, primed up the trim and everything. They painted the ceiling in the room. What was one of the debates that we were having is actually, were we going to be able to get away with just kind of feathering in and touching up the area around the front of the bump out, or was the whole ceiling going to have to be painted because of how much was removed and how much was mudded and connected up there? And so the decision was like, let's just paint the whole ceiling. And so that's what they did. So that was done today. They did a first coat, a top coat of the black brown color for the inset. I think I put the picture up on the community page on YouTube channel here. So the black brown of the inset of the cubby, the first coat is on there in drying, and they did a first coat on top of the primer dried, and they did a top coat of the white paint on the trim, and it kind of blended into the next couple pieces of trim on the same wall. So and then they came down here, and the piece of trim, the new piece of trim that's along the theater wall here, was also primed. So they'll be back tomorrow, same time, same bat place, and this will get painted. We'll be done. I can put the subwoofer back in its location. I don't know if we can actually see the subs out of position here behind me. Actually, there's a couple of the tri-traps that go in that corner are just sitting here behind me as well. Camera's going kind of janky on me. So we watched another movie actually Saturday night, and then Batman 89 Sunday night. We watched it with only 3 subwoofers and the bass traps out of the location that they're supposed to be in. Didn't really notice any super negative effect from that. Maybe a little bit less bass power overall in the room. But I'll be able to get the curtain back up. So once that's all painted, it should dry pretty quickly. It's just one little top coat of white paint. rehang the curtain, move the sub back, put the bass traps back in the corner, and then this room is kind of fully back to spec and ready to go, ready to be used in all of its regular glory. And then tomorrow upstairs, they'll do a second coat of the black brown in the cubby inset, and then they'll paint, I think, the entirety of that front wall, because the mudding and the bleed over of the work kind of went into the sidewall towards the windows a little bit. So that whole the green, the olive green color, that whole wall, the face of the bump out will get painted. They may run a little bit more touch up on some of the trim as well. And then we spec'd in a couple other things around the house. There's some other like crown molding that needs to get recaulked, redo the caulking for it's kind of like breaking loose the seam. And then around the main floor of the house, there's a variety of places where some paint repair and touch up and stuff was needed. So it's like, well, we've got you guys here, you're working. Let's spec in a couple of extra things like we did basically with the electrician as well, some lingering repair and improvement and fixer upper type stuff that I could do, but I just haven't gotten to. It's like, okay, you guys are here. This is your thing. It just adds a couple $100 to the job. Let's just get it done. Get it done on their time. So they'll be able to do all of that stuff tomorrow as well. And then after that, we're ready for gear. So I probably don't want to be putting any gear up tomorrow evening, just because I really don't want the paint. I don't want any risk of the paint still in a later stage of drying. And then you put the in-wall speakers up with the like flanges or the pieces that touch the wall, covering up the hole, and then they dry. And then if you ever need to pull that speaker out, it's going to be a bit of a pain because the paint will dry to the backing foam and and then it tears. Or same thing if I have to move the TV mount for a different size television, if and when we get one, and that sticks on its backside, you pull it off, it's going to pull like tear the drywall paper or whatever. So it's better to probably not rush, not rush, just let everything dry and cure tomorrow night. And then Wednesday's going to be a tough one though. Still, there's too many kids' activities Wednesday night. My son has an activity in addition to my daughter. And most of the stuff, none of the stuff really, I think, can I really do by myself too much. Definitely the TV I can't do by myself. I'll need a couple pairs of hands to remount the TV mount, and then definitely a couple pairs of hands to carry the television and rehang it back up there. So that could be Thursday. Actually, the TV's got to go up Thursday night because my wife and my daughter are off to an activity for the weekend. It's just going to be me and my son. So then after that, he and I, we can take care of the speakers. We'll connect the rest of the stuff, and then have to redo arc calibration and stuff like that. So there's going to be a really good opportunity to film a lot of content around this if I can do everything in a way where filming filming fits the time window and allows me to kind of do it all. So maybe a good opportunity to make a new Arc Genesis kind of walk through with the calibrating the 2-channel setup in the living room. I definitely want to film the integration of the Utopia speaker and the subwoofer module. Those RUI Pro pure fiber optic detachable end HDMI cables. I'm hoping there's no problems. Fingers crossed. That those all work exactly great. No signaling issues or anything like that. So all of that should be the upcoming vlogs after. I'll do a paint vlog, which will be just a really short thing just to kind of overcome that step of the process and then move on to the actual gear vlogs. So, but definitely by this weekend, the living room will be back online and functional for content and watching. I think the only other thing that could really monkey wrench it or pose a trouble is if I have trouble with those cables. I think everything else should be pretty straightforward, pretty seamless. The only untested element of the system is those cables. So if those cables work to spec without any trouble, the powering, the main question could be in that the cables need to be powered, and there's only one USB port. So I bought that 4-port USB hub and Will I be able to connect all the cables like from the rack, the Apple TV and the Kaleidoscope cables discreetly, the PC cable discreetly? You still need to decide what I want to do with the Nintendo Switch as well, actually. Whether I put it back in, whether I don't put it back in at all and just don't care about the Nintendo Switch as a platform and just stick to the PC, happy with only the PC. Do I take the Switch that I have and put it up? Or do we just make a run to Best Buy and buy a Switch 2? I think they're in stock. I was actually there the other day. I'll mention that. Talk a little bit about that later on. Some other techie stuff that I was trying to deal with this past weekend. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Does anybody want a Switch anymore? Did anybody buy a Switch 2? Are you impressed with it? What do you think about it? So I don't know. I'm really torn what to do with it. We literally haven't turned on the Nintendo Switch in months. If we got the 2, I don't know if we would be inclined to play anything on it. Maybe the new Mario Kart that had come out could be fun and interesting. But I don't know. It's $500 purchase, probably plus to go buy it. All I really need is the Switch and the dock. The Pro controllers that we have would work. So we have the rest of the Nintendo infrastructure. We would just need the console itself. I just don't know what I want to do with that. If I don't put the Switch 1 in, I'll sell it. I'll just sell it on Facebook Market now, let it go, and or on the channel, or whatever, if anybody's looking for a Switch 1. Or again, if we want to just keep access to some Nintendo games, then I should just put the one I already have back up. But I'm kind of really torn what to do on that. So we'll see what happens as we go forward. But yeah, so looking forward to that. It'll be nice. So around 6 weeks now. 6 weeks for the project. By the time we'll be back online. A couple questions and comments here as we kind of run through. I missed these. Hopefully, a lot of happy birthday wishes. Thanks, everybody. I very much appreciate it. Today is my birthday, 49, big 50 next year. So I get to take advantage of those awesome accelerated 401k deposits in the 2026 calendar year. Looking forward to that. I think I hit this one. Garlando, thank you. JW Love, thank you. Julius asking, going out to dinner. No dinner. We're eating leftovers tonight, actually. Dad which is fine with me. We'll get the leftovers. We did Chipotle catering for the Halloween party, and we ate it Saturday night, Sunday night, and we had just enough leftovers that we're still going to eat it. That's still dinner tonight, so we'll see. But my daughter's, I don't know if she's going to both. She's got 2 soccer practices tonight. Maybe if she doesn't go to the goalie training, maybe we'll watch Batman Returns tonight. We'll make it a 1-2 punch. Batman 89 and Batman Returns, one right after the other. That could be fun. Natty Daddy saying happy birthday, thank you. And make sure you get a piece of cake. Man, I'm so loaded with Halloween candy. I don't even know if I need. I don't know if they got me a cake or some kind of a treat. Knowing my fitness goals, I'm not bothered if I don't have a birthday cake, but we'll see if they went and did something anyway. Man, did you pick up the 98-inch QM? Wow, QM9 sale. That's like getting close to real close to cost. Holy cow. $39.99 at Best Buy. Last I checked, I think it was still $49.99. That's still, so this is still in my thought. I still just have stuff to sell. I had I think two people message me on Facebook Market about the G2 OLED, but they didn't turn into any actual sales opportunity. So I'll probably drop the price on it a little bit. I'd really like to get at least $2,000 for it. If I can get at least $2,000 for the G2, I probably will do the QM9K on the road, hopefully towards a 97 G6 or something next year, but much less than that. If that TV is only worth $1,000 or $1,500, then that's a lot more to spend. I need the capital. I need to get closer. I don't want my out of pocket to be quite that high. So we will see. Michael, welcome. A little bit late, but no worries. We're still here. Got plenty of time to chat and hang out. So, yeah. So we'll see. That's still up for sale. If anybody out there is looking, of course, that's a pickup. Southeast Michigan, local pickup. If you come pick it up, Hangout for a while, give you some theater demos and all that stuff. But yeah, LG G2 OLED. I've got it listed at 25. I'll take some offers if anybody's looking for that. I have the other equipment still. I'm going to make a video actually just kind of advertising the stuff that I have for sale. I still have the Focal IW LCR6 in-wall pair that came out of the living room. I'm prepared to drop the price on that. I think I listed them originally at $5,000 for the pair, 4,500 or something on the order of that. Give me an offer. Happy to let those go. Still have the Triad 10-inch bronze in-wall subwoofers plus the rack amps that go with them. I don't even remember where I was at on those in my original listing. Might have said like 1,500 each or $3,000 for the pair. Again, price is coming down. I'm ready. I want to get this stuff moved and out of here. I've got some Ubiquity cameras to sell. I've got some dual outlet 20 amp Wattbox 820 units that I'm not using now. And then I got to get through the room. So that's the other thing I'm really looking forward to. Once the stuff is in and everything's connected and that living room is operational, then I'm coming back down to the storage room and I'm gutting all my stuff. I'm inventorying all my stuff. I'm gutting my stuff and getting rid of a lot of things that I'm not actively using in the setup or the install anymore. So, yeah, so we'll see what happens. Julie's asking, did you get all your security? Yeah, well, the 4 outside have been installed for a while. Then the doorbell, I got the doorbell installed as well with the doorbell cam. But I bought 4 cameras that I was intending to use on the interior, a basement, an upper stairway or upper hallway, and then 2 on the main floor. And then as it turned out, we didn't actually pull wire for 2 main floor camera locations. So I didn't even need the cameras that I bought. Stupid me, stupid tax. And then I just didn't, I'm not going to put the other ones inside. So I'm probably just going to resell all 4 of those cameras, unfortunately. But the outside ones are all up. I love having the outside ones for sure. If I could do it again, actually, I would have really structured the cameras a lot better and differently. One thing I realized I didn't do, which I wish I would have done, which would have been to put one inside the garage looking forward, because then that one would have really right in the middle of the garage looking straight out. That way I would have been able to see, like, are the garage doors open or closed as they are with the camera that I have right now. I can't really see both doors effectively. I would have actually done cameras on the garage facing both directions. So I probably would have overloaded cameras. But if we ever move or rebuild a house again, now I know. Maddie asking, the problem selling used OLEDs that I found is they don't have an infinite life expectancy. Is there anywhere you could move the G2 and keep it? No, we don't use a lot of TVs in our house, so we don't put TVs in our bedrooms. The place that I could put it down here in the basement, in our basement landing, just outside of the door to the theater here. We have kind of our workout area is where the tonal is, and then there's a whole big play area. It's probably like, oh geez, I don't even know, probably 20 by 15 or so. And it's just open. It's basically romper room. It's been romper room for the kids. There's some like younger kids toys and things out there. There's like a gymnastics mat and like gymnastics little beam bar. So when the little nieces and nephews come over, they still play with that stuff. And when the teenagers and stuff come over, they congregate around in this area. But we've had a goal, a design to basically turn that area into more of an older hangout space. Love to have a game table, like a pool table, a shuffleboard table, something like that. Couches, and then I probably would put a TV there. But we haven't done that. We haven't done that though, partially because of I mean, honestly, a lot of it's because of our cat. The one remaining cat that we have is not trustable, has not been trustable in his behaviors with new pieces of furniture and stuff. So it's like, okay, get rid of the cat. We'll build this area out. But otherwise, he continues to hold our house a little bit hostage. So if we were to build that out, that would be a place where I could put a television, and since I have it, I would just move the G2 down to that spot, and then I would just throw an Apple TV on it. That's all it would need, all it would use. That is an interesting thought, but yeah, I don't know. I'll think about it. Srin saying used OLEDs don't sell. Yeah, I have a first gen LG 55, got in 2014, sold in 2021, didn't get much. Yeah. we'll see. I'll start dropping the price a little bit more. I thankfully I did sell our freezer finally when we had to replace our refrigerator. Then we bought the fridge and the freezer unit because we had to buy the pair. I started that at like 1,000, and I just sold it for 400. The guy came and picked it up on Saturday, actually. So on Facebook Market, I'm gonna start ticking it down like by $100, probably $100 a week or every few days, maybe 3 to 5 days, until I get to about 2 grand or like 19.99, and then stop, and we'll see if it sells then. I really would like to get the bigger TV in there just to get it, like to have the experience of using the TCL, try it out, and all that stuff, but it has to make sense. It has to make sense financially. If Techthusiasm had a deeper pocket of retained earnings at the moment, I might be more inclined to go ahead and a little more proactively get the QM9K, but I'm a little thin on the retained earnings right now. I got to sell this stuff and recover some money for what I've been spending, paying the contractor and getting this other work done. And I think it was September was actually a really good month with folks looking for gear and helping people out with stuff. October was real thin. Um, so not a good start to Q4 in terms of earnings. And I need to also be ready for a couple of other things that are waiting in the wings that might be a bigger spend as well if they come through or come to fruition. So and I bought that big comic book about 6 weeks or so ago. So that moved some money out, and that Captain America number 27, awesome book. It's with my presser right now, getting ready to be cracked and cleaned and hopefully nice, not restored, but nicely improved for a grade bump. It'd probably still be a few months before I get that back though. Oh, what else has been going on? Oh, the other movie we watched. So we did watch Suicide Squad. Yeah, the first one. Yeah. Because I mentioned my daughter didn't want to do the family costume. She wouldn't want to be the fourth Ninja Turtle. So she was Harley Quinn, and her boy that is a friend that is a boy, was the Joker. So she did her costume with him rather than with us. Sad dad. So they had seen the character designs just searching for them online, and it's like that's like the worst Joker in any form of media, movie or otherwise. The Joker from the first Suicide Squad movie. He's like some ridiculous gangbanger. He's not the Joker. He's got the stupid teeth attachments. He's got tattoos on his face, and it's like, no, this is not the Joker. He had a good laugh and there was a couple redeeming qualities to the performance, but that movie was just kind of lame all around. I found. I'm sure it's somebody's favorite, so I don't mean to be insulting, but as my standards go, it's not my favorite comic book movie. It wavered a lot. I think the general reception of it wasn't as great. But anyway, she wanted to watch it. My son was a little too mature for him, but he was at a sleepover with one of his cousins. So it's like, all right, well, we'll just watch the Suicide Squad so she could see it. I really still want to watch the Suicide Squad, the second one, because it's the harbinger of all of the newer direction of the DCU. It's weird how they did that movie. That movie's like it has 2 feet in both kind of universes. It's like the end of the old DC universe and almost kind of the start of the new one. It has a lot of the same actors and characters carrying over and doing some of the same things, um, but not directly related. But that's much more mature in the vein of the newer DC content. So that was the one I thought we were going to watch. Excuse me, Saturday night, and I was excited to do that. And then we actually like, wait a minute, let me look at the Common Sense Media for this. It's like, oh no, this is like an R movie. It's not just an edgy PG-13. And she wanted to watch the first one anyway. She largely concurred afterward that version of the Joker was pretty lame. Jack Nicholson, far superior version. But still, the movie looked great, sounded great. We still watch it compromised without the forced subwoofer and stuff out of place in the room here. But hey, but you got to do what you got to do. So I think sometime I still need to watch that second Suicide Squad movie myself. Sometime. So you're talking about these TVs. Just an FYI, you can get an 83-inch B5 for $17.99 right now. Yeah, 2G might be tough sell. Yep. I mean, the G2, Well, that's 3 generations removed. G to a B is a pretty significant difference, but yeah, wow, 17.99. So probably 2,500 is way too high. 2K 2K might even be too much. Yeah. Yeah, and then and we're not even at Black Friday pricing yet. We're only a couple weeks away. Chintbit, happy birthday. Thank you, my friend. Thank you very much. Maddie's saying, I heard the movie House of Dynamite on Netflix has some good base. Thought the movie itself was okay. Nice. I've been contemplating actually canceling my Netflix. I'll talk about that in a second. I have not seen the House of Dynamite though. Stranger Things just hit. I really, really want to finish Stranger Things. I still have the last freaking 20 minutes of Cobra Kai to watch that we ran out of time binging when we were flying back from Arizona back in June. We binged out a bunch of the last episodes of Cobra Kai to end the series, and our plane landed like with 15 minutes left in the final episode. And my wife and we have not found the 15 minutes to sit down and finish that show. I want to do that. So I need to take her to task. Like, look, we're either going to watch this together or like you're out. I'm just going to watch it myself. Same thing with Stranger Things 5. If it's going to take us like a year to watch Stranger Things 5, I'm just going to watch it because I want to know how this ends and I want to get over the show, and over the people and some of the negativity actually that's kind of surrounding the Stranger Things cast and stuff right now is a bit of a bummer. What else is going on? So I didn't do anything with the NAS. We talked about the NAS last week. I've just been too busy with other stuff. I'm continuing my photo processing sequence, migrating photos into iCloud and tagging them and structuring them into the shared family library. That's going to be a many months process to get it all done. If I'm done by let's say Q1 2026, I'll be happy. I bought a gimbal that was pretty cool. So hopefully some of the Handycam content and video content elements that you see in the videos on the channel will be a little bit nicer, a little bit smoother. I don't know why it took me so long to pick up one of those. It wasn't even that expensive, just kind of a minor one, but it's pretty neat. It's electronic, so it can like rotate the phone and you can draw an area of interest and it'll stay focused on that as you move around. Thing just has so many buttons and like redundant buttons because the controller just detaches. It's like I pick it up and I'm confused. Every button has 3 functions as well. It's like a tap, a double tap, and a triple tap. So I gotta use it enough to get it straight in my mind. One other thing that I was really debating a lot this last week was I may cancel the YouTube TV. I've been thinking about canceling some of the streaming services and stuff. So 6 weeks without a television in my living room has led me to realize that in some ways I don't really miss it too much. Or I don't miss the YouTube TV much at all. So Raw is on Netflix, and if I keep Netflix, that's access to enough WWE. If I really want to watch an AEW show, which I haven't watched in eons now, I think that's on HBO Max anyway. And it's like in the evening, I'd be inclined to like turn on CNN or Fox News and flip back and forth and watch the double duality nonsense of both of them. But it's like, does this mainstream media trash actually enhance my life in any way, what shape or form? Does it just make me mad? And then, or I fall asleep watching it, and when I should have just went to bed. So I don't really need that. Not really. I don't really watch a ton of sports. Um, I didn't even watch like all these awesome baseball playoffs. I've seen some of the references and the highlights. These super long games, super like eventful. What's the word I'm looking for? Just really intense games that are dragging on. Probably would have been fun to watch some of that. Never turned. I didn't have a TV to watch it anyway, but maybe I would have turned some of it on if I would have had the TV. But so I don't know. I'm thinking I probably could let the YouTube TV go, actually, and just save that money. Maybe pick up like one of those on wall antennas or something, and just slap the antenna on the wall behind the TV, plug it right in, and just use the tuner in the TV to be able to grab like local ABC, NBC, Fox, whatever, CBS type channels. That would still get me some of the local sports and some of the bigger sports. I could still watch the news. I could watch the Thanksgiving Day parade and some stuff like that, and drop that expense. Just drop that monthly expense for something that I probably don't really need. I tend to watch YouTube more than anything, so for stuff that I'm interested in and stuff that I like. But I'm curious, anybody? Yeah, there you go. So, how would you watch live sports? That's the thing. I don't know that I really watch a lot of live sports, um, or that it matters to me. As it is, like YouTube TV is losing stuff. They're in their uh, battle with Disney right now. So I think some of those channels have fallen off. Um, you can't even watch. If I wanted to, I couldn't watch the Tigers on YouTube TV anyway because of the whole like Bally Sports change, and they lost that a while ago. So we haven't had access to some of the Detroit sports on YouTube TV for a while. My dad's big into the baseball stuff, so sometimes when they come over, visit whatever, he'll be like, "Oh, can we put the baseball game on?" We just grab his phone. He has Spectrum. We grab his phone and then AirPlay from his Spectrum app to my Apple TV, and then that can play the baseball game. So I don't know. And I was debating as well, possibly even canceling Netflix, like $24 a month. I don't watch it. I think I might be able to be fine, happily enough fine with Apple TV Plus, Disney Plus, and HBO Max between the two of them. That gives me access to Marvel, Star Wars, and Disney type stuff that I would really want to watch. It would give me access at least until they sell it. We'll see what happens though. If WBD gets sold, they get sold to Netflix, and all the Warner Brothers stuff moves off of HBO Max, or HBO Max just goes away and it gets integrated into Netflix. That would be pretty crazy. Although I guess it would consolidate something for me. It'd make it an easy choice for me to say that's fine. If it all goes to Netflix, then we don't need HBO Max. Then I would stay subscribed to Netflix to be able to have access to those characters and that type of content. But I don't know. I'm really debating this. I need to think about this a little bit more and kind of figure out what the path forward there is. Largely, the only people that really watch a lot of, I don't even watch a lot, but watch more television in our household, it's my son and I, and we're usually watching Marvel stuff. So again, Disney Plus is the thing that we really need, or the only thing that we would really need to be able to watch that kind of stuff. I think I'm actually still subscribed to Hulu right now as well, because we had that for the Lego Masters show, and I'm kind of inclined. I think I'm inclined to want to watch the Alien show, Romulus or whatever it's called. I've heard some good things about that as well recently. Is also, I think that's on Hulu, but that one's only like $4 a month. So it's like, keeping that added on to the Disney Plus deal isn't bad. And so if I keep Hulu as well, that also perhaps negates the value of YouTube TV. At least if I wait a couple days, I can watch some newer broadcast stuff. So, and again, the over-the-air antenna thing would help. Now, if I do that, I kind of lament the fact that when I overhauled the theater room the first time, I kind of deinstalled my connection to the antenna up in the attic. That worked actually really well. And oh, they had that. There's like that over-the-air DVR platform. I forget what it's called now. It's not Tello. That's the UMA thing. But I think there's some good options for stuff like that. But that antenna it's not going to work anymore. It's totally um it's totally like disconnected, and I think I killed some of the wiring that drove it, so I wouldn't be able to go back to that. Strand saying he has the Disney bundle, Netflix, HBO Max, Amazon. Oh yeah, I have Amazon Prime too, and I would keep that as well because I still want to watch The Boys when the new season comes. I'd really like to continue watching Invincible. Yeah, too many services, but I want to get down to like some targeted services that I actually really appreciate and not just have everything for the sake of having everything. I already canceled Paramount Plus or didn't renew it from my last renewal. And then when WWE Raw went to Netflix, I've shut down my Peacock as well. Maybe during the Olympics I would resubscribe to Peacock for a month or two and then let it go. But that would be it. That's the only thing that would draw me back to Peacock at this point, I think. Lawless saying, yeah, they have networkable over the air antennas. They have an Apple TV app. Yeah, that's perfect. That's the one that I was talking about. It's just a matter of like, what do I use? What do I use for the antenna? Um, what do I use for the antenna now? I'm trying to see if I can find this real quick. Probably making it shake now because I'm typing. Tableau, that's the one that I used before. I thought Tableau actually worked really, really nicely. So that was, Tableau was both, it was a DVR as well. So you could, like, if you paid for the service. Oh wow, they changed the form factor of this. Here, let me share this actually while we're talking about it. I wasn't actually intending to talk about this too much, but I think it's an interesting topic. The new generation Tableau, pretty cool. So back the last time that I used a Tableau, well, I guess you could wire in any type of antenna to it. So yeah, there you go. So the antenna goes in, it wires into the Ethernet, it wires into power, and then, yeah, this is the one that I had, this one. But that looks like that's, oh no, they still have this. Sold out. Tableau Dual Light over the air DVR. But this, okay, this is the new one. Watch and record live, subscription free. One Tableau delivers antenna TV and 100 free streaming channels to every screen in your home. The Tableau system, 2 tuner with antenna and 4 tuner with antenna, comes with the TV antenna. If you already have an antenna that works for you, choose the no antenna. So this is only 130 bucks. Yeah, I could probably do something like this. I wonder if the antenna would work if I put this down in the storage room down in the basement, or if this antenna probably needs to be like up on the like up behind the television on the main floor of the house or something. Yeah, Tableau comes with everything you need to get started. But I could also just put this thing behind the television as well. Just wall mount it right there, and it'll be fine. Yeah, one Tableau connects your whole home. Just need the network drop. Really, it doesn't matter where it goes in the house, I guess. You just need the network drop. But this is definitely the way to go. I think even this would be way better and more usable still than the using the TV antenna from a control perspective, because then it's all right on the Apple TV. Then I could watch it down here, I could watch it upstairs. So I'll probably look to go back to something like this. And I think, I don't know if it counts, but I'm pretty sure when I had a Tableau years ago, I bought the some kind of like lifetime service thing. There was some type of service element to this as well. Yeah, just, oh no, I guess they changed this. Wow, this is all so different. Does Tableau require subscription? No, there are no subscription contracts or hidden fees with Tableau whatsoever. Programming from your antenna, as well as 100 plus included, are absolutely free and no cost to you. Nice. Tableau devices come with 50 hours of onboard HD storage. That's plenty. So I don't even need to connect a drive. This has gotten really good. This is really impressive. You used to have to add drives. You used to have to pay a service fee. I think they might have had like real tough competition, or they had to bundle in a lot of value to keep this thing alive. Doesn't do ATSC 3.0. ATSC 1.0. That was something that I paid attention to also years ago, but I haven't really looked at any time recently. So yeah, there could very well be one of these in my setup or in my plan coming if the YouTube TV gets canceled. Maddie's saying, I believe it needs to be close to line of sight, not exact, but close. They make all kinds of different styles. Well, yeah, so the antenna, so that antenna that it comes with, this flat antenna, where'd it go? This thing that it wires in with a coax cable. It wires in there, and then it wires into the back right here. So they, it's just long, whatever length of cable you need. I wonder if it's actually like if plugging in through this way, it does some kind of like boosting or power for the antenna as well. And then you just plug this in Ethernet, which can go anywhere, and then it has probably a little power brick. I'm impressed that this thing is only 130 bucks nowadays. It used to be more than that, again, plus the service fees. Yeah, this is pretty cool. So this might be coming to the channel pretty soon as well. Because again, I don't think I need YouTube TV anymore. I think I can get away with less services, less paid services. Maybe cut the monthly spend by $100, which is not insignificant. Nice little chunk of change to save for things that I'm not really using to its potential anyway. Or again, it's probably better off that I don't spend my evenings watching CNN and Fox News anyway. Better for my mental health. I'm buying mental health and wellness to put money back in my pocket and avoid things that just infuriate me. We got some bigger goals too. I keep telling my wife like 2026 is going to be, or I not is going to be. I don't want to prematurely say that, but like I really want 2026 to be. I really want it to be a year of focused opportunity. I think we have the path ahead of us to be mortgage free in February of 2027. So the period from March of 26 to February of 27, I want to get her on board, paint this vision, what it's going to take, what we need to do, and make all efforts to accomplish that goal. So it'll still be in the year that we turn 50, and we can be completely free. It's that prospect gets me so exciting. It seems it's very attainable, very attainable. So I may end up foregoing some things, making some sacrifices, asking the household to make some sacrifices, and making some sacrifices myself to work to that vision. Srin saying, I believe there are websites that recommend which antenna you should use based on your location. Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, I haven't done any of this research yet, but I probably will be doing it soon. Maddie's saying that's pretty cool. I've never seen a tableau before. Kind of makes sense over YouTube TV, especially with what they did to the Sports Disney this weekend. Yep, a lot cheaper than Dish and Direct. Yeah, I mean, if I want to watch the news with a tableau, right? You just record like your local NBC, ABC news at whatever 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Just watch that. Skip the CNN, Fox News punditry. That's not new. That stuff isn't news anyway. It's political agenda. And yeah, the big sports games will be on those broadcast channels. The Thanksgiving Day parade that we'd like to watch and stuff will be on those channels. The presidential debates and stuff like that. Important political events should be on those channels as well. Hopefully, if not, they'll be on YouTube or some type of internet broadcast. So yeah, this could be fun. Going back to something like this, and I think an interesting element of coverage for the channel. Sren, if you have a website to talk about like antennas, here maybe we can do. Consumer Reports. Probably have to pay for TV antennas. All right, come on, just tell us what's the best. Oh, did I miss it? Oh yeah, become a member. Okay, yeah, you got to pay for Consumer Reports. This might be older. February 2025. Here we go. Best TV antennas. 2 spectrums. Skip the range. Look at size and shape. Geography. Yeah, we get pretty good coverage. I'm not concerned about that actually. I know from prior when I have had the Tableau in the past, we get pretty good coverage. Detroit area, not only do we get Detroit stuff, we can pick up some Canada stuff depending on the antenna. And the powered one that I had in the attic, like that thing could pick up a lot. All right, here we go. Best overall Channel Master, flat antenna, 35, indoor antenna. Cons can't stand up on its own, but you just stick it to the wall or whatever. Indoor 35 miles. That'll get me to Detroit. Wall mountable 12 by 2 by 15. Yeah, as long as this thing can go on the wall right behind the television, like I'm good to go. I can stick that. It'd be nice if the Tableau was power over Ethernet. That would be amazingly cool. And then I wouldn't even need a power brick. Just plug it right in with all the PoE stuff that I've got going with the Ubiquity. We'll have to see though. I don't know if any of these are better or worse than the one that would come with the. Ooh, look at that one. Too large for your living room. Works both indoor and outdoor and attic. Not too big. So something like this, I could put on top of the rack, or I could mount it on the wall in the basement. Like if it worked in the basement and I could put the 60-mile range. Wow. If I could put something like this downstairs and it actually worked, that could be pretty cool. Mohu Gateway. Oh, not strong enough for some homes. So this is like a big one. That's what you put up in your attic. Same with that one. I don't remember the brand or the model, the one that I have upstairs. That's up there right now. But again, it's dead. I wouldn't be able to use it if I wanted to because of changing up how things were. How much is the no antenna Tableau? So $30. So you're paying $30 for their antenna. So it might be better to buy a really, really high rated solid antenna and just get the antenna less Tableau and plug them in that way. And of course, I screwed it up when I was doing the living room stuff and I was wiring. I snipped that coax cable. So I could pull another one, I suppose. I could just pull my own through the same run. So if I really wanted to, I could put the antenna up in the room and I could pull a coax line. But I already had the coax line there and I snipped it. So it's gone. I screwed that up. Yeah, so I don't know if I saw this one. Manny, let's know what you find. I've been trying to get my mom off Dish Network for years. All she watches is live sports and old shows. Chintapet saying, what about HD Home Run? What is H? I don't think. Yeah, the silicon dust stuff. Actually, maybe these are different now. I remember this stuff from before. I need an Apple TV app though, not a. I really want something that's very, very solid for Apple platforms, not for Android. So if this thing doesn't do it, ATSC 3.0, that's cool. So let's see. Decide on your source. Yeah, we get an antenna. Choose your product. Oh, yeah, see, I don't want to do all this. I don't want to use my NAS for this. They do have Apple. 2 tuners. Oh, you got to buy the bigger one to get ATSC 3.0. Free local TV over existing home network. DLNA compatible. I think the Tableau would be more seamless. Yeah, Apple. Mac computers, MacBooks, phones. Oh, there is Apple TV. Why don't they put an Apple TV icon? Our app is available for Apple desktop, laptop, iPads, and phones. DRM content viewing for Mac OS and tvOS coming soon. Yeah, I think so. This is more of a raw solution. This is the solution for the people that want to rip their discs and set up more of a dedicated, larger scale recording distribution tweaky tuner thing. I'm looking for the more simplistic solution. This is all I need right here. Cheaper, fully integrated. 50 hours is more than enough. Yeah. Pulling coax in 2025 blasphemy. Yeah, I probably wouldn't bother anyway. Like I said, I could just install this up behind the television and just leave the Tableau recorder up there right next to the antenna, and that'll do the job. Cool. Well, we'll be back talking about this perhaps after. I'm not even going to get into this yet. I'm going to get all the equipment set back up, get everything going, get things stabilized, get the room recalibrated, and then we'll move on to some of the some other infrastructure things. This is cheap enough though that I don't even have a problem buying this and trying it out even before. Probably what I'd even do is buy this and set it up before I cancel the YouTube TV, and then make sure that I'm happy with it and it's good to go. And then if it proves to be a solid choice, then that will further lock my decision in to say that I don't really need the YouTube TV anymore. Interesting. Yeah, Manny, speaking of Apple TV, any new news? Keep seeing rumors. Yeah. I haven't seen anything. There's just rumor and speculation. Excuse me, which is all there really ever was to begin with. That, there may or may not have been a unit, but we've got what have they announced now? They did iPads a couple weeks ago. They did a 14-inch MacBook Pro. They didn't do a 16-inch, so they did some Mac stuff. I would say there's a window of opportunity that we could still see something in November. But if we don't get it by like Thanksgiving, like the week before Thanksgiving, if we don't get something by Tuesday or Wednesday before Thanksgiving, then in my opinion, forget about it. Write it off until like March of 2026. So the next 3 weeks roughly will determine whether it's going to be now or later. And even still, I think there's far too much conjecture and rumor mongering over what that next Apple TV may be. I think it's going to be largely the same box, faster processor, whatever newer version of Apple Silicon and stuff they put in it. I would expect similar form factor. So it'll be a newer, better box, and I don't know that it'll really be a harbinger of any major structural changes or features or stuff like that. So we'll see though. Anything can happen. But again, all the conjecture about lossless and bit streaming and pass through, it still all remains fairly vaporware at this point. The latest betas haven't even had anything of any major interest. I've updated recently. The biggest thing they did was they changed away from the Apple TV Plus branding. So now everything's Apple TV. You use an Apple TV to watch Apple TV. You subscribe to Apple TV. You make purchases in Apple TV. They've just completely compounded the name Apple TV on everything that is Apple TV. And so the icon changed, and I'm pretty sure they changed the navigation. I think I might have mentioned this the other week. I think they changed the navigation of the TV app at least on iPhone, maybe on iPad as well. I think it looks different than it did before these recent betas. But nothing of any interest or radical change differentiation has come in the betas, and I don't know. I don't think whatever the new box may be will be a major harbinger of anything super different as well. It'd be nice to get some improved quality, fidelity aspects, that stuff. It'd be really great if Apple Music could actually output its highest bit rates and sampling rates and stuff like that on Apple TV with the new box. But we'll see. If it comes out, I'll buy them for sure. I'll upgrade both of these rooms straight away. But 9 to 5 Mac hits at Dolby Vision 2. Have you heard anything? The last that I've seen it about anything related to Dolby Vision 2 was references to just how like early Dolby Vision 2 is in its life cycle, that we're looking at a long wait for content and support to come in that. So, but I would hope that it wouldn't take another version, whatever the next version is, if it comes this November, if it comes in the springtime, I would hope that box is Dolby Vision 2 capable. I do hope that for sure, because otherwise it's going to be another like 2-3 year cycle before they update the box again. And the hardware should be ready for it, because streaming is probably where Dolby Vision 2 is going to have its main impact. I don't know what's going to happen with physical media and Blu-rays and Blu-ray players and whatever. And I'm pretty sure if and when Kaleidoscape may support Dolby Vision 2, if that requires new hardware, that's a large ask for that ecosystem. So, I mean, streaming is really where Dolby Vision 2 needs to land strongly. So whatever the new Apple TV is, whether November or March or spring, it hopefully will be ready for it. And then whatever the TVs that get announced at CES into 2026 would also hopefully start having it in the feature list or capability list anyway. All right, we're at about 6:00. I think we'll probably wind it up here. So some fun conversation. So coming up next again, gonna finish up this room. So I'm hoping to actually get a pretty aggressive flow of videos coming out, at least over the next couple weeks as we get through this holiday season and into the Christmas time. Um, as we wrap up these vlogs and make that extra content, now we got something new to look at. Got the NAS thing that I was still considering. Still got some secret activities going on in the background that I hope turn into some really interesting engagements. Um, I really want to get still into like content reviews. Also, I think there's an opening to like watch the biggest release movie every week on Kaleidoscape and review it, um, and put some of that content out there. I really also want to do like a this week in K. I kind of did that as like a segment of the live stream, which maybe it fits in the live stream, or to put it out as another video. So still got a lot of ideas for content. Um, Stay tuned for all of that. If you've got any ideas as well, things that you'd like to see out of me, sound off in the comments. Have all the stuff available. So if anybody's shopping, you want some great deals on some used stuff, these in-wall speakers, in-wall subs, some of the Wattbox stuff, other things, that television, some Ubiquiti cameras, and other whatever. I'll probably drop again a dedicated video. At least this is the stuff I have available now. If I can move those things, I can start doing some other things as well. You're going to start getting prepared for some other stuff. Of course, if anybody's shopping as well, please get in touch. Happy to talk about your system and make some recommendations. I've got access to a lot of brands, a lot of stuff that I like, use, believe in, and have a lot of experience with. There's some great promos available right now. JVC, the NZ 700 and 800 have discounts, $1,000 and $2,000, if I recall correctly offhand, under MSRP. On those, Kaleidoscape has a couple different bundles available this quarter with player and different player / different server combos. I think the sweet spot is the Strato E and the 12 terabyte compact Terra is $1,000 under MSRP. And again, these are just the list prices. So that's just where the promos start. So if I can help anybody out, please definitely get in touch. Love to chat and help you out. Emails there, jeremy@techthusiasm.net. Go to www.techthusiasm.com. Yeah, we'll be back next Monday, hanging out and talking. By then, man, we'll have maybe I'll stream in the living room next weekend, or next Monday, if it works out that my background isn't noisy and whatnot. Maybe I'll sit up there next week and show off some of the final system live and all that stuff. So, but I appreciate everybody coming out. I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of the birthday. Yep, thanks, Julius. Very much appreciated. Oh, here we go. Antenna web. Yeah, that was the one. Antenna web. All right, I'll look at that in the meantime. So we'll talk about that some more next week. Andy, thanks and good luck with the rest of the project. Yeah, definitely got lucky on moving the trim. Yeah, that was. It all worked out in the end. So that the non-matching trim will be hidden by a curtain by close of business tomorrow night. So we'll be looking good. All right, thanks everybody for coming out. Super fun. Yeah, we'll be in touch. Thanks for watching. Coming back for more home theater discussion and fun. Have a good one. Thanks.